When you're an artist, a majority of the time during your day is spent trying to figure out what your next great idea will be, what your next masterpiece will be. You think about what you can improve on the thing that is already so great, the thing that drives you every single day. When the idea comes, it can be difficult, but it's so easy for it to run away. It's important to write things down, whether it be a composition, a line, a word, or a piece of dialogue. Scientifically proven, it's shown that 62% of people get things done when they write things down. And I think that's why the product that I'm presenting to you today and I'm reviewing covers all of that. And it is a great product that doesn't get in the way. What's going on, everybody? My name is Isaac Mijangos. I'm a photographer and web video producer. In this video, let's talk about the Rocketbook. This is by far one of my favorite products of the year, and I think this is the product that everyone should buy during the 2020 year. First and foremost, when I think about the future, I think about flying cars and being able to upload any piece of writing into the cloud and having it accessible throughout anywhere in the world. Google Drive did that to a certain extent, but to me, I still like to write. I still like to jot things down, and I feel way more accomplished when I get them done. Originally, I was pretty hesitant to buy the Rocketbook. It looked gimmicky. Heck, I thought that it wouldn't even work, the application, but one of my coworkers showed it to me, and it was a phenomenal piece of technology. So I decided to try it out for myself, and I found that I absolutely love the product. So throughout this review, we're going to go over the good and the improvements that I hope to see. We're going to talk about both the physical product and the application, because the application is what allows this product to become the product of the future. So let's get started. So first and foremost, let's talk about presentation. Presentation is extremely important, especially when you're a small startup and you need to capture people's attention. And the Rocketbook does that from the very start. I really love the packaging, the amount of detail orientation that this company took in order to show you this product of the future. It looks like you're opening food on a NASA spaceship, which I thought was phenomenal, and whoever came up with the idea should get a medal. Second of all, let's talk about the build quality. And this is not an inexpensive notebook. This is a notebook that you hope will last a really long time. When it came to the college size notebook, I was really happy about the build quality. It's not cheap plastic. It doesn't bend. However, let's talk about the smaller Fusion. The Notebook Fusion has bent on me. It is still very sturdy plastic. It's still the same plastic that they use for the college one. However, it did bend, but it went back to normal and it works fantastically. There are no problems, especially when it comes to scanning, because it needs to be laid down flat in order for it to be sent over to the cloud. So I was really happy about that, and I think it's a testament to the engineering and craftsmanship of this product. Now, when we move on to the inside of the page, as you can see, there's very thin bezels around the page, which is really, really important. This is how you're gonna be able to scan your page, and the app does a phenomenal job guiding you through that, which is really, really important because that's one of the core selling points about this. The second thing you'll notice is that the paper is waxy. If you've ever written on a piece of paper, you know that it is very sandy and very sturdy. The Rocketbook is completely different because it's glossy, so which means that when you're writing on it, you feel a little bit more of a glide. When I first started this, I didn't really like it. I thought my handwriting isn't going to get used to this, but over time I noticed that my handwriting has actually improved and I feel like I'm writing a lot faster. That's one of the things, right? The product should not get in the way. If anything, the product should help you with what you're doing. So when it comes to erasing it, what I've noticed after using this several times, that even when you put water on it several times, especially that first page, it has not lost its quality. The waxiness is still there, and I can still write notes over and over and over again, which is what this notebook is and what you're paying for. The bubbles on the bottom is where you're going to be sending stuff out. You can connect it to multiple things, which I think is a really smart idea because people nowadays will probably be using this. If you're a college student, for that, me, I'm a YouTuber, so I gotta make sure that stuff gets sent into my Google Drive, or it gets sent into my email, or it gets into a text message. So I really like that, but I do see some improvements with the bubble features. There's no bleeding through the pages, which is something that is also very important, especially when you're writing so much ink and you want to make sure that all your ideas stay in order, and you know that this is not cheap plastic that they're using. And now we're going to move on to the improvements. The physical gets so much right, and that's what I'm really happy about. I'm going to say this right now. The physical gets so much right And that's what's important, right? So there aren't that many improvements that I hope to see, but here are my suggestions. First and foremost, I don't think it's so much to do with the notebook, but with the pens. So what I noticed was that it takes a bit of time to dry, and that can be frustrating, especially if you're on the go, you need to write a quick idea. Sometimes it'll smudge over. That might have to do more with the pens, but another thing that I have a problem with the pens with is that the eraser is really, really small. When you're done erasing, there's wax left over. So if you try to write over that, so that becomes a problem because then you're not able to properly write on it, and it leaves smudges over. The only way that I found to fix this problem is to pour water on it and rewrite it. So it's kind of a hassle to constantly have water on you, unless you get one of these little thingies like me. So that's one of the few improvements I like to see, mostly in the pens. And the one improvement that I would really like to see has to do more with the design of the pages, is that the pages come in different note-taking styles. For example, the Cornell note writing style is one of the styles I would like to see hopefully on there, because that's my sort of preferred noting style, especially if you're a college student. And I hope they don't give us a million choices, just 5 of the most popular types of note-taking styles. I think, like I said, the physical gets so much right, and the note-taking style is so amazing that most of my problems come with the application. Now let's talk about the application. I'm really happy that the physical got so much right, because the application has so many improvements, and I'd rather have it be that way than vice versa. The application works great. It does what it needs to do, which is send stuff to your cloud or your email. And these are the things that I enjoy. First, it works. It scans. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. Second, there are bubbles which allow you to send it to whatever you want to, whether that be your drive or your email. It's great, especially if you only have one notebook, and you can send it to different people right away. You don't have to worry too much about it. However, we will get into a bit of why I don't like this part at times. And second, the middle camera, when you scan the application, it makes it very prominent with a really great color choice. It's a really nice green that they choose to make sure that you're lining up the page correctly. What they did was break it down into small steps, and they did a great job at it. The application does that really well. However, this is where it starts to get a bit annoying with the app. First and foremost, change the color back to blue. Nobody likes green that much. Green is not the future. Blue is the future. That's the first thing. Petty thing, but I don't like it. Second, and probably one of the things that is kind of frustrating, is that when you're uploading the notes, it asks you to double check on it. I wish this was an option that you could turn off or on, because I just want to send stuff right away sometimes. Or it would be based on the bubble that I choose, whether I need to double check a product. Like you're at work and you need to send something over, but you need to double check it. You don't want to send the wrong email to the wrong person. So that's the first thing that I would like to see happen. Now, third, we're moving towards this bezel-less future. Our phones are becoming full screen. What does the application do? It creates artificial borders and an artificial bezel. Please get rid of that. That is probably look at this. Look at this. Look at this B-roll. It is horrible. You're creating bezels. It should just take up the whole screen right away. That's the first thing. That's probably the easiest thing to do to improve this, but probably my least favorite thing about the application. Fourth, it is creating folders within the application. You know, as great as it is to be able to send it to different locations, sometimes I want to have my notes right away, be able to read them on the go, especially when I don't have the notebook itself, being able to sort of know where everything is and become a little bit more of an organization tool within itself. Fifth, I think that this is a really great tool to be collaborative with, especially if you're someone that needs to constantly draw up mock-ups, whether you be an architect or you're in visual effects or something along those lines. It is a really, really good tool to have that, because you can send it right away and you know that it is your own work. Six, writing to text. I think this is probably the easiest slam dunk. You know, I'm a guy. I don't have the nicest handwriting, as you can tell. It can be sloppy from time to time, so having writing to text, I think would be a really great thing, and it would be a huge time saver, especially if you're in an office where sometimes your ideas have to be written down and then typed up and then be sent over. You reduce that friction if there was a writing to speech. I think overall, I feel like the application is a one-trick pony, and it can do so many more things. Now, this begs the question, do I think that Rocketbook should become a cloud service? No, I think this should become more of an organization tool, because that point, you're just kind of cannibalizing yourself, and companies probably wouldn't want to work with you if you are a competitor. They should become more of an organization and collaborative tool. Now, who do I recommend this product to? And there are 3 very prominent groups that I recommend it to: the college student, the office manager, and the creative/artist. Why the product manager? Well, because over time, paper adds up, time adds up, especially when you're asking people to write it up on the notebook and then type it up. That will reduce a lot of that friction. And it's really cool that they let you do sort of these customizable company notebooks. So I think it's really great, and it's just a fun and collaborative tool to have. Second, the creative type. And this is just like what I said at the start. Creative ideas, good creative ideas are very hard to come by. And when you need them, you need to write them up and send them somewhere to be kept so that you can develop them further on. I really love it, and I would really suggest it to any creative because it'll save you money over time. And third but not least, I think that the college student is a really phenomenal choice for this, because if you buy 3 of these, you're pretty much set for a very long time. You no longer have to buy the notebook, and it is a great product, especially if you have very beautiful handwriting and you're trying to distribute that to your teammates and you're trying to study for those exams right away. So that's about it. Do I enjoy the product? I really do enjoy the product. I'm happy that the physical product is a lot better than the application, because if it was vice versa, I feel like it would just be a complete failure. So that's it for now. I hope that you enjoyed the review and you stuck long enough to make sure to check out the podcast and let me know what you thought and if you purchased it. But that's it for now. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. My name is Isaac Mijangos, and I'll catch you in the next one.